You're not meant to feel joy only when life is easy. Your spiritual power is revealed by how you delight in God when everything in you wants to break down, give up, or disappear. There's a hidden truth most believers never admit. Adversity is not just a test. It's a divine invitation to discover a kind of joy the world can't touch and hell can't steal. The enemy knows this, which is why your hardship feels relentless. Because if you ever learn to delight in the Lord, even while everything burns around you, you'll become untouchable. Psalm 37:4, KJV says, "Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart." But most only quote this when they're praying for breakthroughs, not when they're drowning in unanswered prayers, betrayal, or silence from heaven. Here's the shocking part. Your darkest hour might be the very moment heaven is watching most closely, not to see if you survive, but to see if you still sing. When everything is stripped away, relationships, money, health, what you choose to focus on reveals who your God truly is. And here's the warning. Many secretly delight more in God's blessings than in God himself, which is why adversity feels like abandonment instead of refinement. But Romans 8:28, KJV says, "And we know that all things work together for good." And that includes the heartbreak, the closed doors, the sleepless nights. It's not just working for your survival, it's working for your sanctification. If you only worship when the outcome favors you, then your faith is still conditional, and a conditional faith has no power in the fire. Real delight in God is revealed when everything else is stripped bare, and yet you still lift your hands in the dark and whisper, "You are enough." This isn't emotional hype, it's war. When you choose to rejoice in God instead of resenting your suffering, you're making a bold declaration to every principality in hell that your worship is not for sale. Don't miss this. Adversity is where the counterfeit versions of yourself die. The image you built, the plans you clung to, the idols you didn't know you had. God allows certain seasons to expose what comfort covered. Hidden in your hardship is a deeper intimacy with God that comfort would have never taught you. James 1:2 doesn't suggest you ignore pain. It says, "Count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations," because the testing is doing something eternal in you. There's a secret strength growing in you every time you choose to worship when you don't feel like it. Some of the greatest desires of your heart won't be released to the version of you that whines through suffering. They'll be handed to the version of you that has learned to delight in God despite suffering. Don't just survive adversity, mine it for treasure. Every furnace has a promise in it if you stop complaining long enough to see it. And yes, the enemy wants you bitter, cynical, hardened. But if you dare to stay soft, to keep trusting, to delight in the one who never changes while everything else does, then not only will God give you the desires of your heart, he will transform your heart to desire what aligns with eternity. So here's the challenge. Stop waiting for peace to return before you choose to rejoice. Choose now. Not when the pain ends, not when the job comes through, not when the healing manifests, now. Because if you can learn to delight in the Lord amid adversity, you won't just come out alive, you'll come out anointed.